way, and it's going to be a charge. Mine are a little out of control. Spate takes the charge.
Now, one ref closest to us had it as a charge, and the other one had it on just as a foul. So it's just a matter of who had the better angle. That time, it just happened to be the one who saw charge.
18-18 to go here in the first half. We're just underway. A 2-0 lead for Southern Nazarene. It's like a full court press here from Northwestern.
And this is where that number one defense comes. They'll put the pressure on you really early until you prove to them that it doesn't work.
Yes. Newton with the ball. Newton's going to hand it off to Stevens. Actually, no, he'll keep it himself and take a long jumper. Way off. Spate, though, with the rebound and the lay-in, and it's a 4-0 lead for Southern Nazarene.
Now, as you're the number one defense in the country, the number one defense in the GAC, you can't let that happen. You can't let the 6'2" or shorter point guard get an easy rebound like that. That's just inexcusable.
And so Northwestern back into their offense here. It'll be A.J. Jones with it. He looks to drive. Hands it off to Andres. Andres, tough shot. Oh, what a block by Newton. My goodness. He almost took it just out of his hand. Unbelievable shot block by Quaylon Newton.
You could tell that Newton just put the message to him. It's like, nope, you belong on the ground.
Spate with the ball. Spate looking to go inside to Starkey. Starkey takes it. Nice little move there and puts the layup in. Noah Starkey keeping that pivot foot down and getting by his defender. 6-0 SNU.
What makes Noah Starkey so dangerous is that he's as big as he is. That 6'11" frame comes in big. You know what else helps in a 6'11" frame? Long, long strides. All he has to do is take one step, and he's at least 6 feet towards the basket.
Collins gets Northwestern on the board. 6-2 now, SNU with the lead. Dunn's going to bring it down. Jonathan Dunn with the basketball. Always good when you can have two ball handlers in both Dunn and Spate as they get it over to Newton. Newton going to go inside to Starkey. They're going to take advantage of this height difference early on. Newton, nice spin move, tough shot, and draws the foul. We'll see who they get here. Newton's going to go to the line for two, it looks like, and it'll be on Cedric Collins, his first.
No, it's going to be on the floor, James.
They actually are going to call it on the floor, and we're going to see some substitutions. Brandon Green into the game, number 11, as well as number 23, Akeem Oglesby. So Spate to inbound. Spate going to go deep, gets it to Newton. Dunn's going to take a three-pointer, way off. Rebound, though, to Stevens. Gets a block shot there from Andrus, and back comes Northwestern. Oh, another huge block by Newton. A.J. Jones went up, and Newton sends it back. Dunn on the other end. The mid-range jumper is good. Newton making his presence felt on the defensive end.
And you know, since it's silent night, it's not 10 points yet, but you could see that those students over there are just like, oh, why can't we yell? Why can't we react?
And it's at 8 now. One more bucket here, and this crowd's going to erupt here in the Sawyer Center. Jones with it. Hell, Northwestern might be a little confused themselves, thinking, why isn't the crowd getting this much into it right now? Jones pump fakes, drives, gets his men in the air, gets it down to Collins, who has the nice lay-in. Good movement there by A.J. Jones, and Spate will get the ball. Full court press here by Northwestern. Spate over to Newton, gets it over to Stevens. Starkey with it, easy layup. Oh, he gets the foul. And from behind, Collins was able to hit him, and so Starkey, will go to the line here for two. But first, we're going to get a timeout on the floor with 15:36 remaining in the first half. Your score, Southern Nazarene 8, Northwestern 4. So it's a little quiet here at the Sawyer Center. It's an 8-4 game. Noah Starkey's about to go to the line for 2 free throws, and if he connects on both of them,
well, yeah,
it might get a little loud in here.
Just might get a little bit louder.
2 for 5, Southern Nazarene is so far. Or excuse me, that's a little bit of old stats. It didn't actually update until just now.
Well, there's number 9.
And 9 is in. 4 of 9 from the field, SNU here, as they connect on their first free throw. 2 of 5 for Northwestern so far. 1 point away. I'm telling you, even that media timeout, there was no music, there was nothing. It was just silence. So
yeah,
10th point's coming up. The student section waits in anticipation. Everybody is sitting down right now.
Very politely. Looking at Sam O'Bannon, one of the top students here. He's just got his hands between his legs, just like, okay.
Waiting, and now we're waiting on something else here. It looks like the trainer for Northwestern was out on the floor talking to the official, and I guess we're good now. Not sure what's going on. Now the officials talking to each other. For Noah Starkey, you got to love just sitting here waiting to shoot your free throws while who knows what is happening.
Yep.
And I think we are good to go now. All right, so Starkey has one more. Free throw is up.
And there it is.
The free throw is good. And here comes the crowd. A.J. Jones with it. And the crowd on this baseline has erupted. Andrus with it, gets it over to Jones. Jones looking to drive baseline. Take it away.
Here comes Newton. Watch this, people.
Yeah! Quaylon Newton with the dunk on the steal. And it's 12-4 SNU. And this place has erupted. And Northwestern trying to settle it back down. Brandon Green with it. Gets it over to Oglesby. Oglesby with the crossover. Goes up. Starkey sends it back. Newton saves it. And it goes over to Johnson. Johnson over to Dunn. Dunn comes back. Gets it back to the baseline. Oh, they tried to hand off to Newton, and it went off Newton's hands.
Just a little bit too strong on the pass there.
Brandon Green picks it up. Brandon Green driving. And Green over at the baseline. Now he drives. Euro steps and just air mills it 50 feet over the head of A.J. Jones. I'm not even sure if Shaq could have brought that one down. That was way, way over the head.
And now Northwestern, you can look on their bench. They just realized the kind of mess that they're in coming into the Sawyer Center.
Ashton Charles checking into the game. Jonathan Dunn with it. They'll get it over to Zach Johnson, who checked in after the media timeout. So Johnson with it right now. Johnson going to come off a screen from Starkey. Now a little bit of a double team here. Johnson stuck, and he gets it over to Charles. Charles inside to Starkey, but it's going to be taken away by Brandon Green. Back the other way comes Oglesby. Oglesby with it. He drives baseline, and that's taken away by Johnson. Johnson bringing it down the floor. Johnson taken right back away by Jones. Didn't see Jones behind him.
He was tracking Jonathan Dunn for the oop.
Oglesby knocks down the 3 in transition, and it's a 12-7 game. And Johnson was kind of waiting there a little nonchalantly, and A.J. Jones just came from behind and swiped it from him. And so now a 12-7 game as the energy in this building has risen. Dunn with the ball. Dunn over to Starkey. Starkey going to hand it off to Micah Spate. Spate coming all the way. Tough layup and one. What a shot by Micah Spate.
And that's what you learn whenever you play under Deshaun Portley for a year. You learn to twist your body, even as small as you are. Micah Spate's checking at under 6 feet. He's 5'10", so he can twist his body into those kinds of predicaments and get a shot up and get fouled. That's what makes him so special and so dangerous.
6'11" Noah Starkey checks out. 6'10" Jared Starkey checks in. Spate, one more free throw coming up. And he completes the three-point play, and it's a 15-7 lead for Southern Nazarene.
Now, not everything is bad for Northwestern right now. Yes, Noah Starkey is on the board, but he isn't having the kind of impact that he normally has. And Jared Starkey's now in. Now, no disrespect to Jared, but he's just not putting up the numbers that his younger brother is. So Northwestern, not everything is so bad right now.
Oglesby to the basket is going to get fouled by Starkey. You can just kind of tell and Jared obviously wears a knee brace. He's probably had some injury trouble in the past, but he doesn't move. He doesn't move quite as well as Noah does.
He did. He's coming off of an ACL tear, so he's just a little bit slower. He didn't play a whole lot last year. This year, he's in a full-time support role.
Yep. As the first free throw coming up from Oglesby off the back iron, doesn't get the friendly roll, and it's no good. We're going to see some more Rangers check in. Greg Miner Jr. back into the game, as well as Elijah Parks. So one more coming up here from Oglesby. Rangers already down by 8 here early in the first half. That one's up, and that one is good. 15-8, your score. Southern Nazarene out in front. Full court pressure still. Johnson's going to get it up to Spate. Spate kind of reading, waiting to see if they're going to come for the double team or not. And he gets it over to Charles. Charles over to Johnson. Johnson at the wing. Inside to Charles. Charles hands it off to Johnson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Dunn with it at the wing. Dunn going to drive. Come off a screen from Charles. 5 seconds now. Long three-pointer. Off the front iron. Dunn going to try to track it down, but it goes out of bounds, and it will be Northwestern ball.
Now, normally, if he's a foot closer, that's going in. Jonathan Dunn, his specialty is facing people. His specialty is just hitting three-pointers in opponent's face.
Green with the ball here for Northwestern. Gets it over to Parks. Parks gets it over to Johnson. Johnson going to drive baseline, goes up, and it's blocked by Starkey, but the rebound by Parks, and he gets fouled on the way up. I believe that will also be on Starkey, and that is his second. Obviously, he's a reserve off the bench. They may keep him in. No, it looks like Newton's going to get ready. Well, he's up off the bench for a minute, but he's back down, so they'll keep Starkey in the game. There's the first one coming up from Elijah Parks. It's up, and it is good. Parks, a freshman forward from Oklahoma City. As for the first time today, we will see the man you talked about in the pregame, Coleman Edwards, into the game, the junior guard from Sugar Land, Texas. And we also have R.J. Charles, another one you talked about, John. Well, he's going to check into the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying about this SNU team. What makes them so good is their depth. They have at least 5 other guys who could probably be starting at any other Division II school.
Oh, and the rebound is going to come down, and it's going to be another foul situation. Miner pulled the rebound down. Looks like what happened, I believe it was, it looked like it was maybe Edwards kind of went up for the rebound too early, and when he came down, nobody was there to pull it down, and Miner was able to take advantage. And so now he's going to get 2 free throws, and this could be a 3-point swing right here. As the first one is up and good. So Miner on the board. One more free throw coming up. And we're going to see a substitution here after the free throw. Well, no, we won't because it is no good. Charles will pull down the rebound. So 4 free throws there for Northwestern on that possession. They only drained 2 of them. So some points left on the board for the Rangers. As coming forward will be Edwards. Edwards going to get it to Johnson. Johnson top of the arc, back to Edwards. Edwards thought about the three-pointer. Gets it over to Charles. Charles back to Edwards. Again thought about the 3. Steps back and does fire it this time. Off, and the rebound comes down to Trey Johnson. They're going to get a foul on Ashton Charles over the back.
Now here's where Northwestern's really starting to flex their nut muscles as we go to timeout here. They are very, very strong inside that three-point area. They're not letting anything come in.
We'll be right back. 15-10 your score here at the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern, 21st ranked SNU, leading the Rangers in a battle of the top two teams in the conference. As coming forward will be Brandon Green. Green going to get it to Andrus. Andrus back to Green. He wants a screen, and he calls it off now as they set up the offense. Try to get it to Minor, and then they're going to get a reach in on Edwards. Got there about on time, but reached in a little too late there. And they're going to get a foul. Already the 15th foul here on SNU, as Green will get set to get it in bounds. Chris Stevens going to check back into the game for the Crimson Storm. So set to inbound is Brandon Green. He'll get it to Minor, who gets it back to Green. And he hands it back off to Minor, top of the arc. Minor to Green at the wing. Comes off a screen. Looking to go to Andrus, and almost taken away, and it is taken away by Stevens. Look out here. Boom! 17-10 on the throwdown by Chris Stevens. Second dunk we've seen that really gets the crowd off its feet. And Green's going to bring it back down for Northwestern. Already 7 turnovers by the Rangers here in the first half. Oh, a big block there by R.J. Palmer, and the rebound comes down to Stevens.
The height advantage certainly come into play for SNU.
Newton drives, pump fakes, gets it out to Johnson, drives baseline. Nice layup by Zach Johnson on the pass from Newton. 19-10 SNU, looking very sharp here in the first 10 minutes. Brandon Green with it. Northwestern, we saw early Northwestern really was trying to move fast. Now they seem to be a little more slowed down as Minor tries to get it out, and it's stolen by Spate. Spate looking to run. Spate goes up hard, misses the layup, and the rebound comes down to Halverson. Halverson bringing it back down. Halverson, nice hesitation, and lays it up. Beautiful hesitation move by Halverson.
Now, Halverson may not know it because that may just be a normal thing for him, but he has no idea how impressive that shot is. He just got that over Quaylon Newton.
Stevens for 3 in the corner. It's good. 22-12, SNU.
That's the first three-pointer made tonight, which is an oddity for SNU. There are usually a few more before this.
As they get it in bounds, a little bit of confusion there. They had Green, the backup point guard, throwing it in, and nobody was there to take the pass. Minor finally did, and he has the ball now. Picks up his dribble. He's going to go inside to Andrus. Andrus, lost the ball, and it's taken away. And here comes SNU. Spate looking to run. Spate over to Newton. Newton was calling for it, and they call a late travel there. Just got his steps started a little too soon, but it was a late call. Dunn and Starkey are going to check back into the game. 22-12 is your score, 9:32 to play here in the first half.
Now this is exactly the kind of pace that SNU wants. Fast, but not out of control. If it gets out of control, then you're playing into Northwestern's kind of pace, which is out of control, let us take control on defense with the press.
And they get the pass inside to Green. Nice pass from the big man, Trayvon Andrus, into Green. And so SNU coming back down, leading by 8. Johnson with it. Johnson, an impressive point guard off the bench as he gets it to Dunn. Johnson takes it back, goes inside to Starkey. Starkey, good move to the inside. That's just easy money right there for Noah Starkey.
And it's just not, look, even at 6'8", it's not a fair matchup for Trayvon Andres. It's not fair with a guy with Noah Starkey, who weighs 215 pounds, and it's all muscle.
There's nothing you can do there if you're Andrus. Tough shot there, but a good one from A.J. Jones. Beautiful mid-range jumper. Stopped on a dime, too. And Zach Johnson's going to bring it back down, gets it over to Dunn. Dunn back to Johnson. Johnson over to Stevens. It's not full court press. They're just kind of a little bit of pressure on you. It looks like they may trap, but they don't always force the trap as they go inside to Newton. Nice give and go on the pick and roll, but it's no good. Rebound to Trey Johnson, and Northwestern coming back. Halverson, nice cross up. Well, he tried to cross up Dunn, but nothing to do there. But wide open in the corner, and we're going to get a turnover. Nothing called either way. You would think either a block or a charge or something there as Newton took it. It's nothing, though, and then Green just loses it out of bounds.
I think what they'll try to explain, if you're the ref, is that he was losing control of the basketball, so not much to be called, just out of control, incidental contact with a loose ball.
So SNU set to inbound. R.J. Palmer throws it in to Zach Johnson. Goes back to Palmer. Palmer. Tell he doesn't dribble often.
Well, Palmer is a freshman, and yeah, he had some depth at the forward position, but he's not a ball dribbler at all.
Zach Johnson's going to drive the baseline. He'll go to the corner where Stevens was waiting. Stevens now drives, goes inside, nice pass to Palmer, and it's knocked away by Halverson, who was right behind him, able to punch it out. And we're going to take a timeout on the floor. 7:49 to play here in the first half. 24-16, SNU leads Northwestern. $7:49 remaining in the first half of here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leads Northwestern 24-16. 9 seconds on the shot clock. SNU to inbound. They're going to go inside to Starkey, and that's just a disadvantage there. They had A.J. Jones, who is standing at all of 6 foot. No chance there. The easy little kind of floater there by Starkey. Jones is going to come off a screen, gets it out to Andrus. He's going to put up a 3. Kind of a ugly shot there. Starkey pulls down the rebound. And here comes Johnson. Johnson going to go to Palmer. Palmer going to go all the way and lay it in. Beautiful move there by R.J. Palmer, taking it all the way. And SNU has a double-digit lead at 28-16.
You could see that Palmer was like, should I go for the dunk?
Thought about it.
Thought about it.
Too early, I guess, as Jones looks to drive off the screen. And he's going to dish it back out to Johnson, who gets the lay-in, and the lead is back down to 10. And back forward comes SNU. Jonathan Dunn going to get it to Johnson. Micah Spate waiting to check back in.
And now they're going to play a little bit of a diamond sort of box and one kind of zone here.
And they're going to go inside to Palmer. No problem with that. Beautiful pass inside by Johnson. Nice entry pass. Palmer finishes. And Oglesby with it. Oglesby had a long sleeve shirt on. He doesn't anymore. And he throws it away. He's maybe getting a little too hot in here, and he has the turnover. Spate's going to check back in.
I was mistaken back here with the defense, and you'll see it coming up. It's really going to be out of this pressure that they put. It's going to turn into a sort of adapting as R.J. Palmer just Euro steps easy.
What a move by R.J. Palmer. Just takes it all the way to the cup with the Euro step, and it's 32-18. A nice first half here from Mr. Palmer.
Well, what they'll do is they'll put a moving 2-3 zone as Palmer gets a block.
And here we go. Spate up to Dunn to Stevens. Foul! And just can't quite get the end one there. And you could just tell on that fast break, the gym kind of holding their breath like, what are we about to see here?
Yep. And Stevens looks at Jonathan Dunn, just cracked a little smile, says that's fine. And here's where SNU is most dangerous. And frankly, this is when any team's dangerous, when they're having fun. Right now, SNU is having their way inside their own building, and it's just enjoyable.
So at the line is Stevens. First free throw is up, and it is good. Lead out to 15. I say Collins, Green, and Minor all back into the game. So one more free throw coming up here for Stevens. Stevens already at 6 points here this evening. Second free throw coming up. It is up, and it is good. 16-point lead for Southern Nazarene as A.J. Jones brings it forward. You can tell the height advantage right now for Southern Nazarene is proving to be difficult for Northwestern. As they're looking, tried to get Minor there. Instead, they'll go back to Jones. Jones at the top of the arc trying to set another offensive play up. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Jones looking to drive. Jones to Collins. Long two-pointer is good. Cedric Collins has a nice little jumper there.
And that's where Northwestern's going to have to make their points, is that area between the three-point and the free throw line extended. That's where they'll get a lot of their points.
Oh, Starkey, nice handoff there to Stevens. He got stuck there for a minute. Stevens just cuts to the basket, and it's just an easy handoff, like a football player there, handing it to your running back who finishes at the cup.
Speaking of football, I see Coach Andy Lambert, head coach of the Crimson Storm, down there on the second row.
Enjoying the action. Collins pump fakes out to Jones. Jones top of the arc, gets it to Green. Green going to drive towards the baseline. And they're going to go out to Jones. Jones going to take a three-pointer. Spate right there in his face, but he knocks it down. And the lead's down to 13. Spate with it. Goes to Palmer. Palmer, look at him breaking this press. And he gets fouled there. Kind of took man, Coach Lambert maybe liked that a little bit. Took a little bit of a shoulder and knocked him to the ground. And we are not in the bonus quite yet. But we're going to see some substitutions. Jared Starkey into the game. Newton into the game, and Zach Johnson into the game. So some new faces in. A Spate prepares to inbound.
I know you can't really call, it's kind of hard to call any sort of strategy small ball with two 6'10 plus centers on your team, but right now SNU is going to try and go a little bit faster, a little bit small ball.
Johnson with the ball. Gets it over to Dunn in the corner. Dunn back to Spate. And Spate's going to go out to Johnson, inside to Starkey. Starkey going to go out, tough pass. Dunn corrals it. Long three-pointer from Spate. No good. Rebound to Newton. Now Dunn pump fakes at the three-point line, comes to the baseline. Almost taken away, and it will be a turnover. A little bit of a lazy pass there from Dunn. Nice play by A.J. Jones to force the turnover. And so Northwestern takes over here. A.J. Jones, the point guard, and Northwestern going a lot slower here as this game has progressed. As Jones is going to drive the baseline, misses, and the rebound. Oh, I guess they're going to get Starkey for a foul there. I look like Starkey kind of hit it out to Spate, but instead they're going to, I guess, get him with an over the back.
I think if anything, that is just trying to, and that's actually going to go against Quaylon Newton. So it was away from the ball.
And I'm guessing they're saying two shots here. I thought that was a foul away, but maybe it was a late call on the jump shot. Regardless, Collins knocks down the first free throw. He's up to 7 points here. 3 for 3 shooting. He is a senior, 6'5" senior out of Longmont, Colorado. Knocks the second one down, and suddenly Northwestern's gotten this game back down to 11 after being down by as many as 16. Johnson, nice little behind the back move. And they'll get over to Newton. Newton to Spate. Spate out to Dunn, top of the arc. Dunn off the screen from Newton. Oh, and that's a questionable offensive foul there. I think they're going to call on Newton. I'm not sure what he saw there, but they get an offensive foul on the screen. And we'll take a break. Last media timeout of the half, 36-25. Southern Nazarene leads. 3:49 to play in the first half, 36-25. Southern Nazarene leads Northwestern. Southern Nazarene 15 of 25 from the field. Northwestern 9 of 18. However, 11 turnovers by the Rangers. Southern Nazarene also has 7 steals and 6 blocks so far here in the first half, as A.J. Jones will bring it forward here for the Rangers, trying to get it under double digits here as they are down by 11. Andrus with it. It's going to go over to Green. Green looking to drive baseline. Now he backs down, goes to the inside, and it's stripped. Stripped by Johnson, and here we go. Johnson almost loses control, and he'll hand it off to Dunn. Dunn to Spate. Spate thought about the 3. Oh, nice step back. Oh, I thought he was going to pull it, but instead he gets it back out to Dunn. They're going to go inside again to Starkey. Johnson now off the screen from Starkey. Johnson inside to Starkey, almost taken away. Johnson gets it back. R.J. Palmer, mid-range jumper, good. R.J. Palmer, a big first half off the bench.
And I think that's just, that's where that depth comes to play. Northwestern, they had a game plan for Spate, Dunn, Quaylon Newton, definitely Starkey, but then they were like, oh yeah, there's this R.J. Palmer guy, and we don't have a game plan for him.
He's got 8 in the first half. Andrus almost lost it there. Instead, it'll be a 3-pointer for A.J. Jones. Ugly offense, but it turns into points for the Rangers. Crowd wanted to travel, but Andrus did not have control of the ball. And so back comes SNU. Johnson off the screen from Palmer. Floats one up there and misses. And back comes Jones. Jones looking to run. Jones, mid-range jumper, and it's blocked by Palmer. What a block by Palmer. And then great hustle on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to stay with Northwestern. My goodness, that is the 7th block in this first half by the Crimson Storm as they lead by 10. For Palmer, that is his 3rd block of the game. He has been very valuable off the bench here. And that's where Southern Nazarene is really taking control inside the paint. Their big guys really getting it done against this athletic Northwestern team. And now a little conversation here between the officials. Now the other official will come in. Not sure what's going on here. My only guess is they're talking about the possession arrow. It's in favor of Northwestern. And the crowd waits with anticipation. And then they're going to go over to the table and have a quick conversation. Some GAC scores, John?
Yeah, we got some GAC scores going on right now. Most of them pretty in tune with what's going on right now with us. Ouachita Baptist on top of Arkansas Monticello by 6, 30-24. There's a close game between the Bison and the Savage Storm by 4, 39-35. We'll go over the rest of them once we get another dead ball.
Green with the ball. At the top of the arc, he's going to hand it off to A.J. Jones. A.J. Jones has been one of the leaders here on this team so far. Holverson, who's the leading scorer, has been held in check. He tries to put a tough layup out, and they're going to call a foul. Again, another late call. A lot of these calls have been very, very late. They're going to get it on Palmer. Not arguing that it's not a foul, but it just seems like a couple seconds late each time, and Holverson's going to go to the line for 2 shots. So now the Rangers can get this under 10. First shot coming up. No good from Holverson. Holverson, as you mentioned, he's the leading scorer on this team, averaging 14.6 points per game, 86% free throw shooter. So he is a good shooter at the charity stripe. However, he misses that first one. One more coming up here for Holverson, another senior on this team. That one is no good. That one with me, I think, was a little unlucky there. That just rattled out. And back comes SNU. Spate with the ball. Spate to Dunn. This pressure that the Rangers keep showing has been no threat at all to SNU. As Dunn will drive baseline. Spins, mid-range jumper, short. Rebound to Andrus. A little bit of a lull here for SNU in the last few minutes offensively.
And this is where Northwestern really needs to capitalize.
And before the shot, we get a foul.
Now, this will be a 1-and-1 call. It'll be on the floor.
I'll call it on Starkey. That is only his first. And now Brandon Green's going to go to the line. And as John just mentioned, it will be a 1-and-1. So 1-1 coming up here for Brandon Green, another senior on this team out of Houston. Very senior-led team here for Northwestern. As that free throw is up, and it is good. And now it is a 9-point game with 1 free throw still to come. So Northwestern, who was down by as many as 16, has battled back into this game. And they're kind of chipping away at this deficit. 1 more coming up here for Green. It is up, and it is good. So he's perfect at the line. It's 38-30 now. So the Nazarene, see if they can figure it out a little bit on offense. Like I said, a little bit of a lull here the last few possessions. Johnson with it. Johnson gets it over the half-court line, and SNU will set their offense up. Johnson crosses over, gets to the top of the arc, goes inside to Starkey. Starkey, gets a block. No, they're going to get a foul first on Andrus. And actually, they're going to get it on Holverson on that one. So Starkey's going to go to the line 4-2. So Holverson trying to help a little there.
And as we've seen already, I mean, he's 2 for 2 already, but Noah Starkey, a much improved free throw shooter than last year.
First one is good, and as you mentioned that, Noah Starkey's 9th in the conference at 16.3 points per game. And for a guy at 6'11", shoots 80% from the free throw line. That is extremely impressive for somebody at 6'11", as he knocks both down. And as you just mentioned, now he's 4 for 4. And back to a 10-point lead for SNU. Green going to bring it forward, 1:15 to play here in the first half. Johnson defending. They'll go inside. Collins, tough shot, but uses the backboard. Nice short mid-range jumper there is good. Dunn will bring it back down, 40-32 now your score. Johnson with it on the pass from Dunn, back to Spate. Spate looking, hands it off to Dunn. Dunn looking to drive, goes behind the back. Top of the arc, now drives. Easy layup.
That's too easy.
Had a little bit of help on the screen from Starkey, but, I mean, he found that lane, and there was no stopping him there as Green brings it back down. And we're going to get a 30-second timeout from the bench of Northwestern. And now let's get some GAC updates, John.
Well, this one's just about to go into the second half. 33-29, Ouachita Baptist over the Monticello Bull Weevils. Oklahoma Baptist on top of Southeastern by 6 as they approach halftime. Harding continues to struggle. They are down 42-18 to the Mule Riders of Southern Arkansas. They're looking for that all-elusive first win, and they just can't seem to get it. And of course, there's our game here, and then there's the two pair of games we didn't expect to be that competitive. They ended up being the most competitive of the night. Right now, in halftime, East Central up on SWOSU by only 2 points, 49-47, and in the other Arkadelphia game, Henderson State on top of Arkansas Tech by 2 points. So there's some competitive games going on in Arkadelphia, Weatherford, and Bethany.
Surprising stuff there. I tell you, with Hardin, they were here a couple weeks ago, and Southern Nazarene did dominate to the win, but I didn't think they were that bad of a team, to be honest. It's just surprising that they have been struggling so much. We're back here towards the end of the first half. Green is driving. He'll dish it out to Oglesby. Oglesby's going to come around the arc, and he looks to drive. Andrus is going to take a three-pointer. That's off the back iron. No good. Rebound to Dunn. 10 seconds on the clock. SNU's got to go here. 8, 7. Dunn with it still. 5 seconds now. Dunn crosses over. Beautiful crossover. Mid-range. Off the front iron. Starkey tried to tip it back in, and that will end the first half. An exciting first half here with Southern Nazarene up on top on Northwestern, 42-32. We will take a quick break here at halftime. We'll come back with some first half stats, some GAC scores, and much more. You are watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Halftime here at the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern 42-32. An exciting first half. Southern Nazarene had a nice run midway through that first half to get a lead as high as 16. Northwestern was able to kind of stop the bleeding, get it back down. Actually got it under 10, and they're only facing a 10-point deficit here at the half. But SNU, you know, we knew coming in, we talked about coming in the size difference that we were going to see, and SNU really just flexing its muscles, you know, from between Starkey, R.J. Palmer, who's been off the bench. I mean, they've really kind of dominated in the paint. I mean,
and you know what? It's not that surprising whenever you have two brothers, in fact, who are over 6'10". One 6'10", the other one 6'11". And then you look at the other side for Northwestern, the tallest guy who's been on the floor tonight, 6'8", and not just I mean, yeah, you're thinking, okay, 6'8", you should be able to compete. No, a slender 6'8".
Absolutely. They don't have their weights on here, but I would bet it's not as big as the Starkey brothers.
Not as big as a 250-pound Noah Starkey. But on the other side, the other thing that I touched upon as one of the keys to the game is the depth for SNU. And you know what? It's showing here. I mean, like, it wasn't Coleman Edwards, and sometimes in this game it appeared to be Jared Starkey, but it's been R.J. Palmer. R.J. Palmer has shown that, yes, he's young, but he can make you pay if you leave him alone in the middle of the court. And Northwestern has been paying attention to everybody else, everybody who puts up the big numbers for SNU. They forgot about the young guy.
42-32 is your score. 55% from the field for SNU in the first half, 17 of 31. Northwestern 11 of 22 from the field. They're shooting exactly 50%. Only a little bit of a surprise here for SNU. Only one three-pointer in that half, 1 of 5 from behind the arc. They're usually they are the top three-point shooting team in the conference. Only 1 of 5 in the first half. Northwestern, three balls kind of helped them stay in this game, 3 of 5 at 60%. Another interesting tidbit here, free throws. Southern Nazarene 7 of 7, a perfect 100%. Northwestern 7 of 12. Down at 58%, so those free throws making a difference. When both teams shoot so well, you don't get a lot of rebounding opportunities, but Southern Nazarene is leading that 14-12. Both have 4 offensive rebounds in the contest. SNU has led all game. They have forced 12 Northwestern turnovers, and they have 9 assists in the contest. Northwestern with 8 assists. They forced 7 Crimson Storm turnovers.
We're talking about that high difference. Here's the stat that really sticks out to me. 7, count them, 7 blocks for SNU as opposed to 1 for Northwestern. And it's been kind of fun to watch them just swat these balls like flies.
Well, and you can tell with Northwestern, it seems like Northwestern's trying to get inside, maybe try to draw fouls, trying to do something in the inside, and every time they've gone inside, one of 2 things has happened. Their shot has been sent back, or their shot has been taken away. There's been a few times they've tried to go inside, and one of these guards from SNU just comes around and takes the ball, or they put enough pressure where they're making bad passes when trying to do an inside-out. So some strong defense there from SNU. But again, some credit to Northwestern. They climbed back into this game. You know, there was kind of a point in the first half where you're thinking, uh-oh, this game might get ugly. But Northwestern's clawed back and has made it a 10-point game, which is respectable. We'll see if they can get back into it here in the second half. Some individual stats. Noah Starkey's leading the way for Southern Nazarene, 10 points, including 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal. R.J. Palmer off the bench, 8 points and 3 blocks. So the big men for SNU getting it done. Quaylon Newton also has 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 massive, and I do mean massive blocks. Just absolutely massive.
One of them was just him putting down a player into the dirt, basically.
I mean, you almost could have counted it as a steal. He kind of went up and just took the ball.
Right.
But like, it was a block in that case.
He imprinted him into the hardwood like Crimson Storm down there, as you can see. And then the other one, it was just
sent.
It was just
volleyball spike almost.
Volleyball spike, put a FedEx box on it, it's gone.
9 points for Chris Stevens as well. He's having a nice game, 3 of 4 shooting. He also has the only 3-pointer in this game. Dunn with 6 points. Spates with 5 points. Johnson with 2 points. Newton, as we mentioned, with 2 points. On the other side of Northwestern, Collins leading the way with 10 points. Jones with 8 points, 4 assists. Green with 4 points, Oglesby with 4 points. Halverson, the leading scorer, Halverson's leading scorer on this team, only has 2 points in the half. Johnson with 2 points. We kind of saw that in the women's game with Jones. They've been able to take the leading scorer out of the game. And then Minor and Parks each with a point apiece. So those are some things we were looking at in the first half. And, John, what are you seeing from your perspective?
From my perspective, I'm just seeing SNU doing what SNU does. They're playing great defense, very fast, but controlled pace. And the other thing, it's just another person on the bench. Every day it's somebody new. Today just happens to be R.J. Palmer. And then you see Micah Spate, Jonathan Dunn putting for some pretty good offense. Jonathan Dunn not putting up as much offense as normal. He's putting up about 6 points. Micah Spate not much either. But but it's just the next guy up for SNU. You see Noah Starkey has 10, Palmer has 8, and I see Chris Stevens has 9. So it's just the next guy up mentality for the Crimson Storm, and they're putting it on Northwestern pretty good. Northwestern, though, they're playing pretty good ball. They need to keep up with that defense. They're the number 1 defensive team in the conference. Keep up that intensity, but once it gets in within 10 minutes in this upcoming half, that's when they're going to want to start putting a little bit more pressure, try to get those traps. Right now, this so-called pressure that they're putting on has done nothing.
Well, and you can tell on that pressure, as you just alluded to, they're not really they're kind of there, but they're not really bringing any traps. They're not really bringing that yet. You can tell maybe they're kind of trying to lull SNU to maybe some security, a false sense of security, and then they're going to try to hit you with the trap. You know it's going to come eventually, but it's been a very loose kind of full court press, and you got to imagine, as you said, as this game progresses, and if they're still finding themselves down, that full court press is only going to intensify. If you're the Crimson Storm, though, with the ball handlers you have between Dunn, Johnson off the bench, Spate, will that really be a problem? We'll see. That'll be an interesting part of this game in the second half. Mm-hmm. And if you're just joining us and you missed the women's game earlier, SNU probably put together one of their best all-around games of the season, defeating Northwestern 76-54. Adrian Berry leading the way with 21 points. Sydney Carolina with an incredible game, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and deep breath, 1 steal. So she did a little bit of everything. Irene Perez also had 12 points, and as well as Schwacke coming in with 11 points off the bench. And I also should mention Alexis Jones, on top of her great defense, 7 assists in the ball game. So the women came away with a nice win earlier today. And as we focus back on the men's game, we'll take a quick look. Let's get some scores here from the GAC.
Well, going on the GAC, we got most of our games are about to go into or just starting the second half. Ouachita Baptist 33-29 over Arkansas Monticello. OBU is in a tight one with the Savage Storm of Southeastern, 43-39 in Shawnee. Harding at this point, it's insult to injury. Southern Arkansas putting it on the Bisons of Harding, 44-18. Of course, our game here. Then East Central and Southwestern Oklahoma State. Let's keep an eye on this one because East Central is also vying for that second spot in the conference with Northwestern. If they win tonight and Southern Nazarene wins tonight, it will be the 3rd game in a row that Southern Nazarene's playing the number 2 team in the conference.
Crazy.
So they're in a tight one right now. They're only up by 4 against SWASU, who's hanging out at the bottom of the conference. They only have 1 win as opposed to Harding, who has 0. So they're number 11 out of 12. So that one's interesting. The other interesting one, we got a tight one across the highway in Arkadelphia. Arkansas Tech has taken a 1-point lead over Henderson State, but it looks like that one's going back and forth.
Unbelievable stuff here from the GAC. We're about 4.5 minutes from the second half. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half. Southern Nazarene is leading Northwestern 42-32. You're watching SNU basketball here on SNUathletics.com. Second half action set to go here in the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern 42-32. Exciting first half we saw here on Silent Night. James Hill, John Hale joining me. And we should be in for a great second half, I presume, here. We'll see if Northwestern can try to figure out this size disadvantage, what they can do to kind of counter it. Meanwhile, SNU, see if they, kind of like you said, keep doing what they're doing and see if they can build this lead.
Well, we know the GAC at all. We know that the game is obviously won in the second half, and nowhere is that more prevalent here in the GAC. So SNU is going to have to play a pretty stellar second half in order to put this one away. Otherwise, it's going to get hairy.
So SNU is going to start with the ball. It's going to be Spate, Stevens, Newton, Dunn, Starkey on the floor for Northwestern. Jones, Collins, Miner, Holverson, and Andrus. So second half action set to go. Spate to inbound, gets it inside to Stevens, and we are off here. Stevens with the ball. He's going to hand it off to Spate. Spate waiting for a screen here from Newton. He'll take the screen. And a good pick and roll inside to Newton. Hands it off to Starkey. Almost taken away. Thought a jump ball, but it won't be. Dunn gets it back out. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Almost disaster there for SNU, but they keep possession. Dunn now a three-pointer. Good. 45-32 SNU.
And that's where SNU is so grateful to have, frankly, a D1 caliber player in Jonathan Dunn. Any other player in Division II, that one probably is dead ball. He goes ahead, just makes a clutch three.
So back come Northwestern. They get it over to Jones in the corner. Jones drives and kicks Andrus for three. That is off. Rebound actually goes to Collins. He'll put a tough jumper up. May have been at least altered a little bit there by Dunn. And Newton pulls the rebound now. Newton now looking to run. Newton almost gets it taken away. Gets it to Dunn. Players falling left and right. And Dunn will corral it and settle it down here. I believe Dunn is also the one guarding Halverson, who is the leading scorer on the Rangers. Has held him to 2. Dunn feeling it. He's feeling it, folks. He's feeling it, folks. 16-point lead just like that. Miner coming back the other way. Foul and the basket. There's your response from Northwestern. Now beautiful shot there by Miner.
Now, he didn't hit anything in the first half. I don't believe he did. He may have had that one. But Jonathan Dunn came in and was like, nope, it's my time to shine. And he just does what he does. Jonathan Dunn, he's one of the best three-point shooters in the GAC.
First shot, or trying to complete the and one, is Miner. He misses, but he follows his rebound, and he stepped out of bounds. Great hustle there by Greg Miner. He knew that shot wasn't going in and just immediately ran after his rebound. Got to be a little careful there because it can get you for a violation if you leave too early, but in that case, didn't seem to matter. So Dunn's going to bring it back down. And right now, you may be wanting to try to set up number 25. And Newton with it. Nice deny here by the Rangers. Dunn now has it. Comes off a screen. Gets it over to Stevens. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They'll go inside to Starkey on the pick and roll. Starkey, tough shot, and draws the foul. And that's just, we keep saying it. That's where being 6'11" helps.
What else can you do? You're not going to block the shot.
Yes.
Unless your name is Shaquille O'Neal and you are once again 25 years old, you ain't going to block the shot. So, at that point, you just just foul him, hope he misses.
Yep, and Starkey's going to go to the line. As we mentioned, an 80% free throw shooter, 4 for 4 today, as the first one is up, and that one misses. A little bit of the broadcaster jinx there, and he has one more coming up. The foul was on Miner. That is his third. As the second one up, that one is good, and the lead back out to 15. A.J. Jones with the ball here for the Rangers. Gets it over to Collins, and Halverson with it, with Dunn defending. They go back to Jones. Jones going to come off a screen. Gets it out to Andrus. Andrus, nice first step. Big block by Starkey, but they got a foul before.
I think this one's going to go on Stevens.
And I believe you are correct. No, they're going to call it on Starkey, actually, and that is his second. So Andrus is going to go to the line. They're going to say he got a hold before he went up and blocked it. Andrus averages 12 points a game. He's a 62% free throw shooter. And this first one coming up is good. And coming back into the game is Brandon Green. Played a lot of the first half, partly because Minor was in some foul trouble. But Green obviously seems like one of their top guys off the bench. As the second one is in, and the lead cut back down to 13.
And here's this Northwestern full court press. They're starting to put it on just a little bit at a time.
Yeah, getting a little bit tighter here. They kind of back off, but still one-on-one for Spate, and Spate's usually going to win that battle. Stevens went for the dunk and gets sent back by Andrus. Well, Stevens was feeling it there, but Andrus says no, sir. Halverson now with it. Comes off a screen. Jones open for three. No good. Newton, great block out there and pulls down the board. And back comes SNU.
Now, Quaylon Newton, he's not a traditionally built forward, but here's what he is. Andy Lambert and Coach Bohach and everybody else on the SNU athletic staff, they call him the most athletic player on campus.
Starkey with the beautiful move in the post. Lead back out to 15. Jones to Halverson. I tell you, Halverson can't get anything going because Jonathan Dunn is not letting him free. He is playing excellent defense on the top scorer for the Rangers. Jones now with it. Jones to Collins. Halverson again. Trying to get an open look. They're doing some off-ball screens, but he can't seem to get open. Oh, they're going to get a foul that one. I think they're going to get that on Starkey. He got off a screen, and Starkey came out to help. And they're going to go on Dunn here, his first. Dunn doesn't seem to agree. 16:35 to play here in the second half. Halverson's going to go to the line for two. He's a good free throw shooter, but he's actually 0 for 2 today, surprisingly. First one's up, and that one is good. So Halverson draws the foul there. One more coming up, and that one's up and good, and he'll have his third free throw here in just a moment. Trey Johnson going to check into the game for the Rangers for the first time in the second half. So one more free throw coming up. Actually, we're going to get Oglesby. All right, Oglesby. John, we've seen Oglesby now with a long sleeve shirt, no shirt, and now he's got the short sleeve undershirt.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This one's too long, this one's too short, this one's just right.
Could be, could be. We've seen a couple wardrobe changes here from Oglesby. Bringing it forward will be Stevens. He gets it to Spate. Spate over the half-court line, driving, and they're going to get a foul. And the foul will be on Oglesby. Will get his first foul of the game, and so set to inbound here is SNU. 16:27 to play. We're just getting underway here in the second half. Jonathan Dunn with the ball, back to Spate. Spate inside to Starkey, a little bit of a double team, back to Spate. Nice pump fake, he'll put the three up, it's good! Micah Spate with the shot fake, steps over for the open three and drains it.
That's just too easy for Micah Spate. He's not as tall as Jonathan Dunn, so he doesn't have the release that he does, but all he needs to do is just get you in the air, and he's got it.
Green goes into the paint, tough runner, no good. Rebound to Stevens, and here comes Micah Spate. Spate looking to run, he's moving. Gets it over, beautiful pass to Starkey. Starkey smartly tries to get it out, but turns it over in the process out to Green. Halverson, quick trigger, no good. Rebounded by Dunn. Halverson looking to get his three-point shot going, and we've got maybe a bench warning. I don't think it was a technical. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor, and we'll take it with them. 15:39 to play in the second half, 54-39, SNU leads. 15:39 to play in the second half. SNU leading the Rangers 54-39. SNU set to inbound it here. Newton going to get it in to Spate, and we are off. Zach Johnson just checking into the game for the first time in the second half. Spate going to come across the arc. And he's going to throw an alley-oop! Jonathan Dunn throws it down! Oh, my goodness! Dunn just went and got it. Andrus on the other end. Green looking to drive. Gets it out to Andrus. He drives. Tough floater, no good. Rebound will come down to Spade. All right, John, I gotta get you turned around in shock there.
I mean, I really wanted to say something, but I know I didn't want to interrupt you on the broadcast. But oh my goodness,
what an
Jonathan Dunn. I mean, why not?
Why not? He is feeling it here in the second half. What a pass by Spade as well. Dunn, mid-range jumper, misses short. First miss of the second half. And back the other way comes Oglesby. So a 17-point lead, largest of the game for SNU. Northwestern had a 16-point deficit in the first half. And they just haven't been able to kind of get back into it since. And we're going to get a foul on Newton. Third foul on Newton. And we're going to see Ashton Charles. That's one guy we did not see a lot of in the first half. I think just because R.J. Palmer was playing so well. Charles we didn't see much of, and he gets beat on the inbounds play as there's a lay-in for Trey Johnson. And it's 56-41. And it could be why we didn't see Charles very much. Got beat there on the inbounds as Johnson brings it forward. Gets it over to Dunn. Dunn letting the offense play out. Going to get over to Spade at the wing. Spade inside to Starkey. This is what they want all day. Starkey back out to Johnson. He's going to come off a screen from Starkey. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Dunn now driving. Mid-range jumper. Good. Just a nice, just goes back on one leg, uses the backboard. Jonathan Dunn's on fire here in the second half.
I mean, he's got 16 points now, going 7 of 12, but this has just been his half.
Absolutely. I think he has at least 10 here in the second half as there was a miss from Andrus, rebounded by Spate. Jonathan Dunn coming back down. Slows it up, goes now inside to Starkey. Starkey, good move on the post. No good, though. Ashton Charles fighting for the offensive board. And he's going to turn it over. And back comes the Rangers. Halverson has it. He gets it taken away. Johnson just takes it from him. Beautiful defense there by Zach Johnson.
Well, we were talking about Ashton Charles just turning it over down there. You got to remember, Ashton Charles was not supposed to play this year. He was supposed to redshirt. But when a support player, Brady Mulkey, ended up breaking his ankle, he was thrust into the role. He burned his red shirt, and he started playing when SNU played their exhibition against Oral Roberts.
And a win, by the way.
A win, by the way, against a Division I team. It won't come down as a win on the official record, but hey,
it goes down for a loss for them, I believe.
It does go down as a loss for ORU. So, and that was Ashton Charles' first game, and he surprised some people. He ended up shooting 9 points. 9 points in his debut against a Division I team. So he's special, but he's still very inexperienced.
Yeah, a lot of green there for Charles, but a lot of potential from the freshman. Done with it. We'll get inside the Charles. Charles looking to make a move. Nice move on the block. Almost got it to fall, but he does draw the foul. And I tell you, you can see the bench love that. They're all on their feet after that move by Charles.
Here's what makes SNU such great as a team, and this is just Adam Bohotch coaching and the community that SNU has. I mean, as soon as a freshman gets in there that isn't as experienced, as soon as he gets a chance, the bench is all over it. They support this guy. They support these young guys no matter what because they know that those young guys will come up replacing them.
We're getting a timeout on the floor. Timeout from Northwestern. 12:50 remaining here in the second half. 59-41. SNU leads. Coming out of timeout, 59-41. Southern Nazarene leads. Ashton Charles is at the line for his second free throw. Already knocked one down. And one more coming up here. As SNU has opened this game up here in the second half. Second free throw is up. And that one is good. 60-41. And back come the Rangers. Green with the ball at the wing. Gets it over to A.J. Jones. Jones to Oglesby. Oglesby, a little hesitation move. Tough shot. No good. Just couldn't get the roll. Goes back out to Jones, though, on the long rebound. New shot clock. So Jones with it. Gets it over to Green. Almost taken away. Instead, it'll be an open three for Green. Way off. Jared Starkey with the rebound. Trying to get rid of it. And it gets it out to Johnson. Johnson now looking to run. Johnson over to Charles. And he gets fouled. Charles was not in a good position under the basket, but he's still able to draw the foul, and he's going to go back to the line for two more shots. Good run there by Johnson on the transition, and he was able to find Charles, who was able to draw the foul. And SNU is taking it to the number 2 team in the GAC right now. Looking to get this lead out to 20. And they do. So Charles up to 3 points. One more free throw coming up. We'll check those GAC scores in a little bit, as East Central could be the ones in favor of what's going on here in Bethany. As the second one's up and good. East Central's the one that could move into that number 2 spot with a win, as long as they take care of business as well. Green with the ball here, 62-41. 21-point lead for SNU. Green trying to drive. Tough shot by Parks, no good, and it's out of bounds to SNU. And we're going to get another timeout on the floor. 11:53 to play in the second half, 62-41. SNU leads. Back here, 62-41, SNU leads Northwestern. John, let's get some GAC updates.
Well, going on, 12 minutes left in the game going on. Ouachita 7 points up on Monticello, 47-40. 7 minutes left in Shawnee. It's a close one, 70-67. The Bisons are on top of the Savage Storm. The Bisons of Harding continue to struggle against the Mule Riders, Southern Arkansas. And East Central starting to distance themselves from the Bulldogs of SWOSU, and Arkansas Tech is down by 9 to Henderson State. So
surprise, surprise,
surprise, surprise. They're really gonna have to start playing. There's still a lot of time in that game.
They're gonna go inside looking for Starkey. Pass a little off there from Chris Stevens, and it'll be a turnover, a rare turnover from Southern Nazarene in this half, and so the Rangers will get it back. And coming forward will be A.J. Jones, the point guard here for the Rangers. Gets it to Collins. Collins looking to drive. Gets it out to Oglesby. It was almost taken away there by Johnson. And back out to Green. Green crosses over. Back out to Oglesby. Oglesby drives baseline. Tough shot. Gets the layup. Nice baseline move there by Oglesby. He gets on the board. SNU comes forward. About 11 minutes remaining in this game. 19-point lead for SNU. Dunn and Spate not in the game right now, so interesting lineup into the game. Starkey backs down, can't get it to fall. Rebound will come out to Oglesby. Oglesby looking to run to Green. Oh, Stevens almost got the dunk there, but instead Green gets the layup. And lead now down to 17. Now here comes the trap. I figure maybe this is the best time to do it as Stevens with it.
I was just about to say that if there was a time where Northwestern wants to push as hard as they can, this is it. Without Dunn, without the younger Starkey and frankly bigger Starkey, I mean, it's just if ever there was a time, this is it.
Coleman Edwards with the ball at the wing, trying to go inside to Starkey, and it's going to be a foul on Parks.
And I do believe that if you look at him closely, Jared Starkey is struggling. I mean, I don't know if it's that knee, but I mean, he's kind of a little bit lackluster right now.
He almost looks a little winded right now as well.
So,
he looks like he's kind of struggling. And actually, I just realized we haven't seen R.J. Palmer in this half. A little surprising with how great of a first half he played. As they'll go in the corner, three-pointer, way off from Edwards, misses short. Green's going to come the other way, and he loses the ball out of bounds. Another turnover for Northwestern. 15 turnovers now on the night. And, you know, John, if you're going to beat a team like Southern Nazarene, you can't have 15 turnovers in a game.
No. There's
just no way, especially on the other end. Well, Southern Nazarene does have 10, probably a little more uncharacteristic, but you're just not going to beat a good team like Southern Nazarene with that many turnovers.
No, if you're going to beat a team like Southern Nazarene, you got to have a pretty efficient ball game on both ends of the floor. And you know what? It's kind of like a football team playing Alabama. You have to have an efficient quarterback to have a chance to beat them. But SNU basketball, you have to have an efficient team to beat them.
Oglesby drives the lane and draws the foul. And we're going to start seeing some substitutions in Southern Nazarene. Both Noah Starkey and Micah Spate about to check back into the game, as well as Trayvon and Andrus about to check in. Maybe Andrus was just looking for the bigger Starkey, and when he saw him, immediately hopped off the bench. Oglesby's first shot is up and good. And all of a sudden, a little bit of a 6-0 run here. Well, it's 5-0 now. Could be 6-0 with one more free throw, and we suddenly have the game back down to 15. And we're hitting that 10-minute mark you were talking about. So now what do the Rangers do in this situation?
Well, the advantage for SNU is that they have 3 ball handlers on the floor right now. They have Coleman Edwards, Micah Spate, and Chris Stevens, all of which can probably play point guard at any other school if they weren't on the same team.
And I get it over to Charles, get it over the line, no problem, and Spate will have the ball. Charles is going to set a screen. Spate takes it. Now it's a mismatch here. Oh, now they switch back. Spate's going to go inside to Starkey. This is a mismatch. And he actually misses. Decent defense there by Parks. You could tell the big size mismatch there. And it's taken, well, Jones tried to pass. It was tipped. Jones came back for it, and they're going to call a foul on Coleman Edwards, who is almost offended by that foul.
And I'm kind of on his side, James. I think that one's just incidental contact. I mean, the ball was up in the air, just trying to make a play for it. So I'm siding with Coleman Edwards here. I'm not exactly sure why that is as hard a foul as he was called.
Unfortunately for Coleman Edwards, that is 4 on him. He hasn't been able to play much because he's been in foul trouble, so he's out the game again. As Minor with the ball. He's going to get it over to Oglesby, and now he has Jonathan Dunn. Oglesby just got a few points. Now he's got Dunn defending him, and he gets the ball tipped. Able to get it back, though. Andrus gets it out to Jones. Jones going to get a screen here, crosses back over. He'll go out to Minor for 3, and it is good. And it is now a 13-point game. 8-0 run here by the Rangers, and they get a turnover.
That's just a bad pass by Micah Spate.
Andrus gets it back. Jones in the corner. They'll go to Minor. He's going to try it again, and he connects. And it is a 10-point game, 11-0 run by the Rangers, and suddenly, you know, kind of a lull in the gym. Energy's kind of down, and suddenly Southern Nazarene has a ball game. We get a 30-second timeout. And all of a sudden, here we go.
Here we go. It's just one of those. It's one of those games. We'll be right back.
So back-to-back three-pointers from Minor. It's capping an 11-0 run right now by the Rangers. They finally got a turnover in this full-court press. And we've got a ball game suddenly. 62-52, SNU still leads, but Rangers have taken the momentum. Jonathan Dunn with it. He's going to go cross-court to Stevens. A little bit of a scary pass. But Stevens corrals it and gets it back out to Spate. Spate with it. Over to Charles. Charles remaining in the game. And he's kind of stuck now, and he gets out to Stevens. And suddenly this defense from the Rangers are stepping it up. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Starkey. Tough shot. Gets the friendly roll. Beautiful baby hook there from Starkey. And Andrews going to come back to the other end. Goes down the baseline. Oh, they're going to get a bump foul on Starkey. And we're going to see R.J. Palmer now for the first time here in the second half. And we're going to get free throws as well. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Andrus. So 8:08 to play here in the second half. 64-52. Andrus at the line with a 1-and-1. 2 for 2 at the line. Make it 3 for 3. One more coming up. For Trayvon Andrus, the junior center out of Denver. He misses that one off the back iron, and R.J. Palmer, who just checked in, pulls the rebound down. And back comes SNU. Spate with it. He's going to get a screen from Palmer. He actually goes the other way. Oh, what a beautiful Euro step to the bucket. Micah Spate, that first step. And then there's a wild pass. It's going to be taken away by Stevens. Bad pass there from A.J. Jones. And now a 13-point lead. SNU looking to take back control.
Now that's exactly what Northwestern could not do. It was imperative that they shouldn't do that. You can't just have a bad mental error like Micah Spate did, which gave you an opportunity to get back in this game. Now you put it back in SNU's court. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Spate coming off a screen, and he draws the foul. I believe they're going to get Minor there. And for Minor, who has been a little hot in the second half, that is his fourth. Big foul there. And we have a timeout on the floor. 66-53, SNU leading Northwestern. You're watching SNU basketball on SNUathletics.com. $7:19 to play here in the second half at the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern 66-53, 21st ranked. Southern Nazarene, first time in school history in Division II, 21st ranked team in the country. At least according to one poll.
Yes.
The other poll, not quite there.
Receiving votes.
Not quite there.
D2 SIDA is where they are ranked 21st in the nation. Micah Spade at the line for two. First one's up, and it's good. As they try to get this lead back out. SNU is led by as many as 21, but an 11-0 run by the Rangers. Got it down to 10. However, SNU is now responding and looking to get this game back out to 15. And they do on Spate's free throw. Spate up to 11 points now here. As Green looks to drive. Feeds it out to Andrus. He takes a three-pointer, and this time he finally hits one. A little unorthodox shot, and he hadn't really been very close on some three-point attempts, but he got that one to fall. And there's R.J. Palmer looking to take this one all the way, and he gets fouled. I tell you, Palmer has no fear when he touches the basketball and just takes it right down the lane and draws the foul.
And you could see as soon as they called the foul and Halverson just got the rebound that didn't really matter, he just looked up in the sky. He was like, yep, it's just that kind of game.
Yeah.
It's that kind of game where nothing's falling for him and everything's falling for the guy who you really didn't think was going to be that big of a problem.
And Palmer knocks the first one down. He's got 9 now. He can get into double figures with one more free throw coming up. Could be the 4th Storm player to get in double figures. And as I say that, he misses.
Well, there's still
plenty of time.
Still about 6.5 minutes left.
13-point game. Green drives, gets out to Andrus, thought about the 3 again. This time drives a beautiful drive. He got Starkey to come out on him on the 3-pointer, thinking he was going to pull up again. But this time, he lays it in. And the lead back down to 11. Spate with it.
Now, once again, just like the girls, this is where SNU can't afford to get conservative. It's too close at 11 points to play conservative. You got to keep playing good ball.
Oh, he went for another alley-oop to Dunn. Maybe not the best time for that. As Andrus now gets the steal, he's going to move forward. Tough floater. That's no good, but he pulls his own rebound now. Starkey just kind of jumped a little too early. Oglesby with it. He had an open man in the corner, but passed it up and now has stuck, and he's going to get it out to Halverson. He had, and it was Greg Miner in the corner too, has knocked down 2 threes in this half. A bad mistake there by Oglesby. Miner stays with it, almost taken away by Spate. He'll go out to Oglesby, and they're going to get a blocking foul.
It's going to be a charge.
Well, he called a block initially, and they're going to stay with a block. The official on the baseline had a blocking foul.
Well, we had a similar to earlier today. We had one ref said this, one ref said that. This time I just happened to be looking at the wrong ref.
Yep, and RJ Palmer not happy with that call at all. And he thought he had a charge. I think what the baseline ref was saying was that he was in the cylinder.
Yep.
And that is why it ended up being a block instead of a charge. So Miner to the line. First free throw's up and good. We got a 10-point game again. They can get it under 10 here with this free throw. Last kind of 5 minutes have been tough here for SNU. Zach Johnson back into the game. Miner's second free throw is up, and it's good. And suddenly it is a 9-point game. The number 2 team in the conference not going down easily, as they've got it under 10 now. And I think you're going to see a lot of pressure now with this full court press. A little bit of a dangerous pass there, but Spate brings it in. And Spate will dribble forward, gets it over to half-court line, gets it to Palmer. Palmer hands it back off to Spate. Shows a screen. Nice little hesitation move. Tough layup, though, is no good. And Andrus pulls it down. Back comes Northwestern. Green with the ball. Hands it off to Andrus. He's going to take a 3. That is short. Rebound, though. And they're going to get it out to Oglesby for 3, and he knocks it down. My goodness, it's a 6-point game, and we're going to get another timeout on the floor. It will be a full, and we'll take a timeout with them. 69-63. Northwestern has stormed back here in Bethany. So it's been quite the turn of events here in the second half. As Northwestern, who was down by 21 here in the second half, have cut it down to
6.
Excuse me, 6. Hopefully not 3. They cut it down to 6. And Southern Nazarene looking to respond here as they get it over to Newton, who just checked back in. Johnson with it in the corner to Dunn, inside to Starkey, going back into the paint, and that's just too easy there. Exactly what SNU needed.
And exactly what SNU needs to continue to do, whether it's a three-pointer or a miss or a makes, anything, try to work it down to Starkey, let him take you home.
Yep. They need to definitely work through Starkey as Green, nice little first step move, and the floating layup is good, and it's back down to 6. We've got a ball game here in Bethany at the Sawyer Center. 71-65, SNU leads. Johnson will bring it over half court. The Rangers have had a spark from the three-point line in the second half. We're going to get a bump foul here on Collins, and that's going to put Johnson on the free throw line for a 1-and-1, I believe. 4th foul on Collins. That is the 9th team foul, so the next foul will be the double bonus. So 1-and-1 here for Johnson. And each free throw becomes more and more important here in the waning minutes. Free throw is up. That's long. Starkey, though, tried to pull the rebound down. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Andrus. Good effort there by Starkey, being able to get a piece of it. Spates set to inbound. Spates going to go deep to Newton. Gets it over to Dunn at the wing. Dunn back to Johnson. Over to Spate. It's like a 2-3 zone here from the Rangers. Dunn with it. And they'll go cross court to Johnson. Over to Spate. He's open for 3. Good! Big three-pointer from Micah Spate, and the lead's back at 9. Green with it.
Now you'll see Coach Durden of the Rangers telling him, hey, that's okay. Get back into an offense and try to score again. Don't let a three-pointer kill your momentum.
And Green misses that one. Starkey is hit. I'll say a little bit late. He got hit in the face there. It took him a minute to call the foul, but they do get it. And we're gonna end up going to media. But John, you were saying
he's holding his eye. He's got something.
Yep, he got hit in the face. When we come back, he should be shooting 2 shots. 3:46 to play in the game. 74-65. Crimson Storm lead. (74-65), Southern Nazarene leading Northwestern here in the second half. And going to the line is Noah Starkey. Starkey has 17 points this evening with 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Looking to add to that total with 2 free throws coming up. And the first one is good, and he's up to 18. He's used his size all game long to give the Rangers fits. And he's got one more coming up. And it is up. And that one's good, and the lead is back to 11. So the Rangers have been pressing hard, but now down by 11 again. They got it down to 6. Let's see if they have another run in them here as in the waning minutes. Oglesby loses the ball, taken away. Johnson was the one who got a piece of it, and then Starkey came away with it.
Once Starkey gets at least 2 hands on that sucker, all he needs is just to pry it away. He's too strong for anybody else to just hang on to it.
Johnson to Newton. Newton drives. Beautiful move. Draws the foul on the up and under, and he'll get 2 more shots. I believe that was on Collins, and that should be number 5. He will be out. Minor's going to check back into the game. So Collins fouls out. He finishes with 10 points, 5 boards. He was 4 or 5 from the field. Really didn't get a lot of looks in the second half, but I think he's been out most of the second half due to the foul trouble he got in. So Quaylon Newton to the line. First one's up and short, and we'll have one more coming up. Newton, wearing number 22, a junior out of Bryan, Texas. Listed as a guard, but he plays like a forward. He kind of reminds me a lot of a Draymond Green type.
A little bit like Draymond Green. He doesn't really fit a mold, but he's just so athletic. He could probably play football here at SNU if he really wanted to.
Minor going to take a mid-range jumper, rattles out, and Dunn will pull down the rebound. 3 minutes now to play in the game. Dunn brings it forward. He'll get it across the line. Almost taken away. And Minor, actually, they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on Minor. And that is his 5th. And Greg Minor is now out of the game. Minor's really the one who got them back into this game in the second half. He finishes with 11, including a pair of 3-pointers, 4 rebounds on the day.
Now that Minor is out, they've just lost one of their great weapons. So at this point, you're thinking, who else is going to step up and hit the 3-pointers, which they will desperately need here momentarily? So, I mean, at this point, you may be thinking this is the beginning of the end for the Rangers.
You would think. Halverson is still their leading scorer at 14 points a game, and he's the one who can really make it rain from 3. He's actually number 1 in the conference in 3-point percentage at 42%.
But I'll counter that point by saying Jonathan Dunn's on the floor.
Absolutely, and that's been the key. He has absolutely locked him down today. He has not made a 3-pointer. He's only taken 1 3-pointer, as he's really done a good job denying the ball to Halverson. And so back up the court come the Rangers. Let the ball roll, and the clock starts when he touches it. Green's going to come off a screen. He gets out to Andrus. Andrus looking to go inside. It was almost like a block. It'll count as a steal, but almost like a block there for Starkey. And a turnover for Northwestern, and back comes Dunn. Dunn going to let some clock run here. As he gets a little bit of a double team. Gets it over to Newton. Newton, nice pump fake. Oh, he went for the big dunk and missed. Oh, my goodness. Halverson coming back on the other end. He drives baseline, step back. Now he's going to drive the other way. Andrus with another 3-pointer, and it is good. Andrus has not shot well today. He's now 3 of 13, but he's gotten 2 big 3-pointers to fall in this half. And we're going to keep it going here. Let's check some GAC scores as we go through a timeout.
Well, this one's coming up. A few of them have gone final. Here's what's gone final. Harding falls by 33 to Southern Arkansas, 88-55. Arkansas Tech falls by 10 to Henderson State. So that puts them. That's 2 losses in a row now for the Wonder Boys. On the other side, this just went final, James. East Central 89, Southwestern Oklahoma State 88.
Wow.
Just went final right now. Other games, and I mean, all right, so this just went final as well. Southeastern Oklahoma State just hit a game-winning 3-pointer. They win 89-86 over OBU.
Wow.
And the other game that's going on right now, 66-61, Washita over Monticello, and, of course, this game right here.
They get the inbounds to Starkey, and they'll get it over to Spate. We're getting close to the 2-minute mark here. A 10-point lead for SNU. They've led by as many as 21, but Northwestern has fought back to make this a game. So SNU really trying hard to close it out here in the waning minutes. Newton with it. Over to Johnson, inside to Starkey. And he goes up, can't get it to fall. Parks was right there with him. I tell you, Parks has been the one that's kind of defended him just as well as anybody else. And you can tell Parks is not a big dude, but he's staying with Starkey pretty well. And it goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Northwestern, who can try and get it back under 10 again with 1:51 to play. Green letting it roll, now takes it. Clock will start. Green to Parks. Parks to Holverson, almost taken by Dunn, but Holverson gets it back. Holverson now has Newton on him. He'll take a three-pointer off, rebound to Spate.
As soon as he saw that Dunn wasn't on him, he tried to pull the trigger and he rushed it.
Absolutely. You could tell when he saw Dunn wasn't there that he was going to get a shot up, and it wasn't a particularly good one. A fadeaway from three is never an easy shot at any level. As Dunn will take it. Clock is going to go to 1:15. Dunn just going to take his time, run the shot clock. Now he goes to drive, steps back, crosses over, pump fake again. Easy jumper, and good. Jonathan Dunn just so good. He is up to 8. He's up to 20 points here for Jonathan Dunn.
Well, the only person who's close to him is Noah Starkey, has 19. So, I mean, now we can start putting a bow on this with about a minute left and 12 points down. But, I mean, we've seen crazier things happen, but barring a miracle, the only thing left to decide is who's going to be the leading scorer tonight.
Tracy McGrady may be out there somewhere. You never know.
Right.
As Andrus goes to the line for 2 shots. First one's up and no good. And that doesn't do you any favors when you're trying to come back late in this game. A missed free throw. There's one more coming up. And I tell you, this SNU offense, this is a good defensive team as Andrus misses it again. Green pokes it loose but can't come away with it. This SNU team faced one of the best defenses in the conference, and they only shot 54% today, including 50% from behind the arc. So an impressive offensive game from SNU so far. It looks like they're going to remain on top and hang on to that 21st ranking. Of course, they still got another game coming up this weekend against who will be the new number 2 team in the GAC.
Central. Well, now here's the kicker. It's on the road.
And that's a big difference.
I mean, and I've seen that East Central court. That can get pretty rowdy.
Absolutely.
So it's no gimmies. No gimmies.
Absolutely not. But it'll be their 3rd straight game against the number 2 team, the GAC, as Zach Johnson's going to go to the line for 2. First one's up and good. Whole different ball game on the road. We all know that. And especially in this conference, if we've talked about it a few times, this is a very pretty even for the most part conference, a very tough conference, a lot of good teams in this conference.
Well, you just looked at last year. I mean, there was the top 4 teams, or excuse me, the top 3 teams, which was Monticello, East Central, and Tech, and then the other 5 in the tournament all had 8-8 records. That's how tight the GAC is.
There's a miss by Andrus. Tough shooting night for Andrus. And this is going to do it, folks. We got about 36, 35 seconds left.
Maybe 2 shots. 2 shots more.
SNU may get one up here. Northwestern may get one up, and then that's probably going to do it. As the Crimson Storm. Spate's going to throw it out to Johnson. He's going to take the three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Parks. Green's going to bring it down. SNU's going to go to 11-1 overall. It's going to match the best start in school history. They're going to go to 8-0 in the GAC as SNU throws it away. A little bit of sloppy there in the last couple of seconds. And then Northwestern's going to go to 9-3 overall and 5-2 in the GAC. For the most part, a little bit of, some coaching moments in the second half, but a pretty solid game from SNU overall.
Pretty solid up till about the midway point in this half where they started to falter a little bit. But I mean, that's just you can equate that to Northwestern just not quitting.
Absolutely.
They've been they played a really tight game against the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders earlier in the year. That game would just not end, and it looked like the Mule Riders just wouldn't die. So Holverson finally gets his three-pointer.
And he got one there, found an opening and knocked it in. Almost stolen again. Newton comes up with it, though, and that will do it. So Northwestern actually gets it under 10, but honestly never really felt that close. The final score, Southern Nazarene 82, Northwestern 73. We'll have some post-game interviews coming up. We'll have the final stats coming up, and we'll get you out of here. Hey, it's 2 wins for Southern Nazarene today. They sweep Northwestern. We'll be right back here on SNUathletics.com. Final score here, Southern Nazarene defeats Northwestern 82-73. We will talk to Jonathan Dunn and Coach Bo Hotch here in a moment. Before we do, some quick just stats at the end of the game. SNU shoots 53% from the field, 46% from behind the arc. They hold Northwestern to 47% shooting. Northwestern does shoot 53% from behind the arc, only 62% from the free throw line to 80% from Southern Nazarene. 31-29 in rebounds for Southern Nazarene, so a lot of impressive feat. They led by as many as 21. Northwestern charged back, but Southern Nazarene does a good job finishing the game. Jonathan Dunn finishes with 20 points. Noah Starkey, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. A nice game for a 6'11" center.
Yep.
Especially 3 assists. You just don't see that very often. Micah Spate poured in 15 as well to go with 4 assists. So a lot of good feats on both sides. Impressive, actually, 5 Rangers were in double figures, but nobody was able to just kind of take control and get them back into the game. John, just give me some thoughts on what you thought you saw today.
Well, this is the first time. This is the first game that SNU has ever been ranked in the top 25 in the country in Division II, and they showed that they earned it. They showed that they belong tonight. I mean, yes, there were some times where they faltered a little bit. They let they let us Northwestern come within 6, but it never felt. You said it earlier in the broadcast. It never felt like it was that close.
It did.
It always felt like SNU was clearly in control.
Yes.
And they're going to have – I mean, yes, this was a good game, impressive game. They're going to have to wipe this one away, let it go, and focus on East Central, who is going to be hungry for them.
Absolutely.
But I don't think that's going to be a problem because – I don't think that's going to be a huge problem because I've been talking to the players since I got back on campus. First thing they said to me, yeah, that Arkansas Tech game that we just played, that was like really intense, that's already gone. That's gone. So
on to the next one.
This team has no problem with moving on to the next game, and that's what makes them better than any other SNU team in Division II yet.
And something I think, with how well this team is playing, I think sometimes people forget that. Let's just look at the starting lineup. You got 2 juniors and 3 sophomores. Off the bench, you just have juniors and sophomores and freshmen kind of pouring in. The only senior, I believe, is Jared Starkey. I believe that is the only senior on this team. We're running through the roster. Yeah, that's the only senior on this team is Jared Starkey. Yep. So Starkey's the only senior on this team. This is still a pretty young team for the most part, and they're really doing a good job finding a way. And we got Jonathan Dunn coming up, so we will just give us a few seconds, and we'll be on with Jonathan Dunn. Again, the final score here from the Sawyer Center, Southern Nazarene defeats Northwestern 82-73. We are here with sophomore Jonathan Dunn. Pours in 20 points tonight on 8 of 13 shooting, 14 in the second half. Talk about that second half. You really seemed to take control of the game and really gave a spark to this team, it seems like, early in the second half. Talk a little about that.
I couldn't do it all without my teammates. They allowed me to get open. They set great screens for me, and they allowed me to take the shots that were good for SNU.
And you had a tough matchup. You were guarding Cody Halverson for most of the half. He's leading scorer in this team. He's one of the top 3-point shooters in the conference. Talk about that matchup and how you were able, pretty much shut him down for most of the game.
It started off in practice. In practice like you play, and the coaching staff stressed that he was a great shooter and that we didn't want him getting any threes. So the plan was to control everything, make sure he didn't get any threes, make sure I was at least in his face if he shot a 3. And they did a great job of coaching the team and me on staying with him.
Talk about the interior today. You had Noah had a big game in the post, was able to do a lot of damage. You guys definitely had a size advantage on him, and you guys really seemed to take advantage of that. Talk a little about that.
Noah's 7 foot, so people they have to be seen, and having that big man down there draws a lot of attention, and he's able to create for himself and create for others, and just able to get everybody open. And having him is just a blessing.
All right, I got to talk about the alley-oop. Micah throws it up to you. You're able to throw it down. Come on, take me through that. That was unbelievable.
And the coach just called the play, and it it was a great pass from Micah. That's something that me and him do after practice or during practice. It's a great pass from him. Great pass.
Jonathan Dunn and the Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm defeat Northwestern 82-73. We got the head coach coming up here shortly. Jonathan, again, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Back here at the Sawyer Center again, Southern Nazarene takes an 82-73 win over the number 2 team in the GAC. Second straight game against the number 2 team in the GAC, and we're here with Coach Bohach. First of all, congratulations on the win. Obviously, a game you guys were able to take control of, but obviously a good team that was able to get back into the game. You guys were able to finish. First, just give me your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I thought a tremendous crowd tonight. Loved the energy in the building. It's awesome having the students back and the band back and the cheerleaders back and all of that. I thought that really carried us there because we certainly hit some lulls and some moments where we got pretty casual. And, you knew Northwestern wasn't going to quit, and they just kept coming at us. And so proud of how we kind of hung in there and withstood those and finished it off at the end.
I'm going to start with Jonathan Dunn. He had a big second half, scoring 14 points, and really seemed to jumpstart you guys in the second half where you guys were able to build a lead. But also, on the other end, he seemed to play an excellent game defensively on a tough shooter, and Cody Halverson really held him down throughout the game and never really let him get going at all. Talk about his performance on both ends.
Yeah, I thought he was locked in, Jonathan was, and he did a great job. They have several really good actions for number 24 where you have to navigate through several different screens and really have your antennas up and be anticipating and be tough-minded not to quit or melt on any of those screens. And I thought Jonathan did a good job of that. And sometimes when he focuses really hard on that end, then the offense just kind of takes care of itself because he's extremely talented. And when he's not thinking on offense and he's just kind of playing, he can score it pretty easily.
You guys also seem to have a strong game in the interior. Noah Starkey finishes with 19 points. As a team, you guys had 7 block shots. R.J. Palmer had some big points off the bench. Ashton Charles put some quality minutes together in the second half. Just talk about how you guys were able to dominate the interior and do what you were able to do.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Noah had a big advantage in there tonight, and it felt like at times we only throw it to him when we're in a bind, when we need to stop a run or so we'll continue to grow on that. But I thought RJ was awesome tonight. He came off the bench and really made some plays from the middle of their press. And I thought you saw a little glimpse of what we've seen in practices throughout the year where RJ has some ability and can really affect the game in a multitude of ways. He blocked some shots and was up above the rim on some plays. And so hopefully this will be a little wind in his sails and he can continue to improve and continue to compete possession after possession as we move forward here.
Coach, this is one of the top defenses in the conference, and you guys were able to score 82 points on them, shot 53% of the field, shot over 45% from behind the arc, and you guys also did a good job at the free throw line as well. How were you able to find so much offensive success against a very good defensive team?
Yeah, they're really good defensively. We made some shots tonight, and that makes it better, but I do think we did a good job of getting the ball right there in front of the basket. And those are obviously easier to make, and we have the big fella in there, and so when all else fails, he makes us look better than we really are.
It doesn't get any easier. Obviously, this ends a 3-game stretch at home. You're going to take a quick road trip and take on East Central on Saturday. They move into the number 2 slot in the GAC, so obviously it gets no easier for you guys. So talk about that matchup coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, they're awesome. Coach Havens does such a good job, and that's a tough place to play, and so we'll have to really get better tomorrow and get after it and get ready to go down there Saturday.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Again, your final score, Southern Nazarene knocks off Northwestern 82-73.